Carolina Sports here with the great Kathy Duva. About 3-4 weeks away from November 19th.
2.5.
Oh, that's right, 2.5. Yeah.
Not that I'm counting.
Yeah, I know, right? Not that you want to get there already. Kovalev versus Ward. A lot of people say it's going to determine the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I don't think there's any question.
Kovalev seems... It's interesting. I've never heard a fighter say that he feels that the fight is 50-50 going into it. Have you ever heard that? You've been in the sport a long time, and what does that mean, do you think?
It means the fight's 50-50. Look, Sergey is a very honest, very intelligent guy, and he says, I want to find out if I'm the best in the world. He says, make the toughest fight you can for me because I want to find out. Who wants to find out? So do I, so do all of us. So how happy are we all that both of these guys have got the courage to go into a 50-50 fight to find out who's the best. That's how it's supposed to work, actually.
Exactly, right? That's what they should all be, right?
Yeah.
How excited are you? We're this close. We're gonna find out who the best fighter is. One of the guys is your guy, the power puncher. A lot of boxing fans obviously love power punchers. I feel like the boxing community is kind of leaning towards wanting Kovalev to win because they feel that the victory for Kovalev will kind of be violent, will be a knockout, something like that. Like how excited are you kind of at this point?
Yeah, well, it's a mixture of exhaustion, excitement, trepidation. Inevitably, we've had the opportunity to be in very big fights before in my past life. When Holyfield fought for the title for the first time against Buster Douglas, I can go back further than that. Rocky Lockridge knocked out Floyd Mayweather's father, Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger, yeah.
Roger, I've been here before, but there will come a moment, and we'll take a deep breath, and the bell will ring, and the fight will happen. And I know that will happen because I've been here before. I know how it works. So I'm looking forward to that moment because at that moment I can't do anything. I have so much to do between now and then. I can't worry anymore. I can't work anymore. I can't get more interviews done. I can't do. Sergey's in the ring with Andre. They're both on their own. I'm done. So then I hope to just be a fan and watch the fight and deal with the outcome when it's over.
Where does this one rank? I mean, you have been part of boxing. You're part of boxing history, like you said, Holyfield, Douglas. Where does this one rank all time as importance for you?
For me personally, it's number one because all those other great fights my husband, others made. So this is one where Sergey was brought in and we built him up. He's not a fighter that had been built up by others. This was my project with my current staff. So we're really proud of Sergey and really thrilled to take a guy from absolute obscurity in 4 years and get him to be in this platform, one of the two best fighters in the world fighting for supremacy. That's as good as it gets. So yeah, for me personally, it's very, very big. For my current staff, it's the biggest fight ever. For us going back in history, I think that I look back and the ones I just mentioned, Rocky Lockridge winning a world title, certainly Ray Mancini when he fought Bramble and got upset, that was a big one for us. Holyfield upsetting Douglas. Those are all upsets, and those were the biggest fights. We were never portrayed as the one that's expected to win. So this is kind of being in a fight where we're not exactly the underdog, but not exactly expected to win either. In a way, it kind of takes the pressure off. Because neither one is expected to win. Neither one is going. I think this is the kind of fight where both guys seal their legacy just by being in the fight.
Oh, definitely. That's very true. It's definitely a legacy fight for sure.
But it's great. It's a big thing for all of us.
Speaking of legacy, I spoke to Bernard Hopkins last week, and we asked him who's the hardest puncher he's ever faced. He said Antoine Eccles was another name, and Sergey Kovalev was one of them. What does that mean about Sergey's power that the great Bernard Hopkins, he like you said, he would turn pro when Reagan was president. So he's been in the game for that long. What does it say about Sergey's power that he was one of the top guys that says hit the hardest?
He has some sort of otherworldly power which comes from the leverage he gets. And I remember talking to a fighter that Sergey had faced, Lonnie B. But Sergey beat him early on in his career, and he was a funny guy. And he just came back and he just said, Sergey hit me with a jab, and it felt like a pole went through my body, and then it felt like it just kept going.
Oh.
And Lionel Thompson, that's right. And I thought when he told me that, I kind of realized this is different. You know, I've had people describe being punched by some of our fighters before, or what it's like to hit or be hit, whatever, but I'd never heard anyone describe it anything like that. And then I realized there's something different going on here. And, you know, it's interesting. I think Sergey is viewed as the puncher here, and Andre is viewed as the boxer, which clearly are the stereotypes that they're locked into. But I think Andre is a better fighter than people give him credit for, and I think Sergey is a better boxer than people give him credit for. And I think that's part of what makes it so interesting. I don't know that this fight is so simple as the boxer's fighting the puncher at all. I think they're going to reverse roles multiple times during this fight. I think they're going to be, you know, playing this high-speed chess match. I just can't imagine a fight that I've ever been around. This includes Leonard Hearns, where people, because we promoted that fight. That was the first big fight we ever promoted. Where you just couldn't tell what was going to happen. Even that one, I think there was this, you know. Again, you did have a classic boxer-puncher match up there, and then in the end, they found out that, you know, it wasn't the puncher that won; it was the guy who took the better punch. I don't know what happens here. I know Sergey takes a great punch, and he is the puncher, so maybe that gives him a bit of an edge. But again, I think in the end, it's going to be Sergey's boxing ability and Ward's fighting ability that is going to really tell who wins.
Definitely going to be a magnificent night of boxing. Thank you so much, Kathy, for your time, and I hope you get there soon so you could finally take a break.
That would be nice.